Doug MPA back with another video. So guys, I've done videos on my channel about men and female dominated spaces. We're going to use this video to talk about the current state of women and male dominated spaces. This is on catalyst.com, workplaces that work for women. So you know there's going to be a bias in here, a slant, but this article is called Women in Male Dominated Industries and Occupations, a quick take. It's full of percentages and stats that we're going to go over. We're going to get into this. Before I do that, like the video, subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. So you supporting me and what I'm doing over here. And let's get into this. This is fairly recent, May 31st of 2023. Let's go. It says, male-dominated occupations are those held primarily by men rather than women. So that's the definition of it. According to the latest data, women make up only 5% of those currently working in the skilled trades in Canada. Only 5%, guys, in Canada. Just 8% of working women in Europe are in male-dominated industries. 6.5% of women working full-time in the United States work in male-dominated industries in 2020, guys. And what are all the West? Women with, what are the 6 degrees I always say on my channel, guys? Social work, sociology, psychology, criminal justice, some kind of studies degree, so gender studies, African American studies, Asian studies, or a communications degree. And if they don't have a degree, they're in retail or customer service. Women have experienced recent gains in employment in male-dominated fields in the U.S. Between February 2020 and March 2022, women saw a percentage of increase of 7% in construction jobs. But what kind of what kind of jobs are they? Are they swinging the hammer? Are they driving the backhoes? No, they're probably in HR, admin, recruiting, and 15% in transportation and warehousing jobs. And probably the same, like I said, in construction jobs. Are they the ones, on the forklifts lifting the heavy boxes? And or do they include Amazon, where a lot of people are just filling orders instead of doing old-fashioned warehouse house jobs, lifting heavy stuff, and forklifting? But challenges remain. Globally, while women's share of leadership roles has been steadily increasing, this has largely been in industries dominated by women. Energy 20%, manufacturing 90%, and infrastructure 16% were the 3 lowest ranking industries in terms of percent increases in 2022. Why is that? Because all those require long hours, physical labor, stuff that women don't want to do. In Europe, the largest growth in jobs occurred among women in the past 2 decades, but these jobs have been in women-dominated sectors. You knew this was coming, guys. Women face increased harassment and discrimination working in male-dominated workplaces. Let me start by saying this. When women go into male-dominated spaces, they should know that they're the minority and they're going to have to adapt to the culture. But women feel entitled to a male-dominated space changing around them. Any guy that goes to a job that's male dominated, it would be good for him to open his eyes and ears and look at the workplace culture and see how he can fit into the workplace culture. Women don't want to do that. Women want to change everything around, and they want to police how the men are doing things. It's not happening. Ladies, if you go into a male-dominated field, keep your mouth shut, just like a guy would for the first 60 to 8 months. Your eyes open and your ears open, and see how you can become a part of the culture. Male-dominated industries and occupations may reinforce harmful stereotypes and create unfavorable environments that make it even more difficult for women to excel. Across the globe, women working in male-dominated industries are more likely to experience, harassment than those working in other industries. And so I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen, but does it happen in mass or the majority of the time? No. Most guys in these fields are good guys just trying to make a living. Okay. In 2020, nearly half, 47% of Canadian women working in trades, transportation, equipment operation, and related occupations reported experiences of inappropriate behavior at work. In the U.S., at the EEOC receives more reports of S harassment from women working in male-dominated industries like construction, utilities, mining, and transportation and warehousing. Of course, they have to talk about women of color, particularly black women, are least likely to report having support from their managers, which can contribute to a lack of leadership opportunities. And don't forget the whole M2 thing, guys. Men aren't supporting women to become leaders, period, now. Remember, most men aren't mentoring women anymore and are staying away from women in the workplace, and rightfully so. Women working in male-dominated industries face a variety of challenges in addition to S harassment, including societal expectations and beliefs that question women's leadership and managerial abilities, pervasive stereotypes leading women to take on necessary but rarely rewarded office work. Guys, we already talked about that in a previous video. And in the office, women take on stuff that nobody cares about. Women are more likely to start diversity, equity, and inclusion projects, focus on employee morale, plan events, do all the stuff that ladies just don't do it. Say no. If a male or female coworker says, "Hey, I want you to take meeting minutes," or "I want you to plan a brunch," say no, ladies. I want you to do a presentation on DEI. Say no. That's how guys avoid doing all this work. It's up to you, ladies. High levels of stress, anxiety, depression, lowered self-esteem, and self-handicapping behaviors stemming from feelings of imposter syndrome. I think a lot of that comes to, if you're a woman on a construction site, you feel some type of way if you're not like the guys swinging a hammer. I I have a friend who's a civil engineer, and she does all these posts about women in construction. I represent for my group. Doing what? She goes on a job site and makes sure that um, things the construction do meet federal code. But she's not out there swinging the hammer, building the walls. She's not doing any of it. But she pushes this narrative like she's breaking down barriers. How about you how about you pick up a jackhammer? How about that? Lack of mentor and career development opportunities. We already talked about that. You could thank women in M2 for that. Since women are the predominantly caregivers in the family, here we go. They are looked at unfavorably when they need to take time off in industries commonly lacking paid sick leave, like construction. This comes down to, if you want to be a mom or you have a family member to take care of, don't go into construction. Just don't. Just don't. The guys on the site are going to keep showing up. And if you're a woman and you have to take months off or weeks off, what are you even doing there? Why? It's the name of the game. The building has to get built. Women use various mechanisms to cope with working in male-dominated working environments, such as overworking to prove themselves. Look, everyone should overwork to prove themselves, even men, which may eventually lead to burnout. And if you get burned out, find something else. Plenty of guys do that. They'll work on an oil rig, or even freaking in the military, some kind of laborious job, and then later on go to college and do something else. Giving into pressure to act like one of the boys, exacerbating the problem by contributing to the normalization of a locker room culture. Once again, you act like one of the boys because that's the workplace culture. See how you can fit into the workplace culture. Leaving the industry. Women that are S harassed at work are 6.5 times as likely to change jobs, often to one with lower pay and lower stress. And of course, the last part is occupational segregation contributes to the gender gap. There it is, guys. Women and men remain concentrated in different jobs and fields. It's because men and women are good at different things. A trend known as occupational segregation, which is deeply rooted in racist and societal biases and maintained by policy and design. Occupational segregation is a significant contributor to the gender and racial wage gaps. So there it is, guys. And of course, they had to cap it off. Jobs that pay more are disproportionately held by white men, while those that pay less are disproportionately held by women, especially women of color. Male-dominated industries aren't the only sectors with a pay gap. Women earn less than men in 94% of occupations, even those that are dominated by women. What do you say about that, guys? Put in the comments what you think of this whole thing. you, you should know by stance by now if you watch my videos. Men work longer hours and more laborious jobs and get degrees and stuff that make money. In my lifetime, Doug MPA is 43 years old now. Men will always out earn women because of these industries. There's an article saying that in most major cities under 30, women make more than men now. But right around 30, especially 35, male-dominated industries take over the salary and keep on going. So, anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you on the next one.